Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. My name is Kassandra and today I'm doing a video to show you how I do my year-end review and also how I set goals for the year ahead. So this is something that I do every single year and have been doing for at least 6 years now, and I always do it somewhere or sometime close towards the new year. Last year I wrote a blog post and I showed you what my process was, but this year I thought might as well just do it live with you and just film it and show you how I do it. So if this is something that you wanted to do for yourself, you do need to go and gather a little bit of material. So what you will need is either one large sheet of paper or a bristle board like what I'm using. If you don't happen to have that, you can always just do this in your journal as well, and I'll show you how you can do that. And then you also need some markers, so any kinds of pens, and I like to use Sharpies, colored Sharpies, just anything colorful that you can write with. And then the most important part that you really cannot skip on is you need to go and gather your evidence. So if you use calendars, if you have a diary or anything like that, go and grab that material. So I have here like my cell phone because I use my calendar online on my phone. I have my laptop, I have my diary, and like my little planner that I have here. And we're gonna use all these tools to look over the past year that we've had so that we can write down what our milestones are. So it's super important that you go and you gather this kind of stuff because it really can be quite hard when you're at the end of the year to try to remember what you did last January. So if you have it documented and if you're someone that takes notes and writes a lot, just go grab all of that stuff and it's gonna make this process a lot easier. And then just kind of set the mood for yourself. So make sure you have at least an hour or so to be completely undistracted. I made some tea and lit some candles and just set the mood and create a nice space where you can just focus on yourself and focus on really setting these goals for the following year and doing your year-end review. Once you have all of your material, you are going to want to, first thing is you're going to want to separate your page in two. Now I've already gone ahead and done that, so I just put a marker, just like a clear black line here that illustrates that my page is divided up in two separate parts. Once you have your line that's separating the piece of paper in two separate sections, you want to label those sections. So the top one is going to be the year that's already passed. So I'm just gonna write 2016 here. And then the bottom section is for the year that is to come. Once you have that, you're gonna need to separate both sections into 5 distinct sections. So what I like to do every year is use Danielle Laporte's 5 areas of life, and that is what I use to set my goals. This has worked really well for me and I've quite enjoyed it, but of course you're always welcome to do something different. So the first category that we're gonna use to set goals and also review over the year that we've had is called Livelihood and Lifestyle. So I'm just gonna go ahead and write it. And now moving to a different color, we're going to add the second category, which is called Body and Wellness. Switching colors again, your third category is Creativity and Learning. Your fourth category is Relationships and Society. Finally, the last category is Essence and Spirituality. So once you have all of your 5 categories listed and you've separated your page into both the previous year and the year that is to come, now it's time to actually get into your research and start populating the first part of the page, which is the year in retrospect, so the year in review. Now, let me go over what the categories mean, one at a time. So the first category is livelihood and lifestyle, and this really has to do with material, physical world. So when you're doing your year in review for 2016, you want to ask yourself, what kind of milestones and goals did you reach within your lifestyle? So this can be material. It can actually be like some physical, tangible things that you purchased or obtained, or it can be goals in terms of travel and leisure and really great lifestyle experiences experiences like that. I usually will fit in my work goals, so like my career ambitions. Let's say, for example, last year I had the goal of getting 20,000 YouTube subscribers. So that went into my livelihood and lifestyle. So your work, your home life, and your lifestyle all fit into this first category. The second category is body and wellness, and this one is pretty self-explanatory. So this has to do with your health, your vitality, your physical body, your nutrition, the amount of exercise that you do, and everything that has to do with body and wellness. The third category is creativity and learning. So this has to do with how you fuel your own passion and your creativity. It also has to do with education or continuous education. So this can be goals and milestones from the previous year, like returning to school or learning a new skill or cultivating and developing a hobby that you're really interested and passionate about. It can be reading more, it can be doing some art. Everything that has to do with creativity and furthering your education falls into this bucket or this category. The fourth one is relationships and society, and this is goals and milestones and things that you've achieved in terms of the relationship that you have within yourself, but more specifically, the relationship that you have with other people. So it can be your romantic relationship, friendships, work colleagues, family, your neighborhood. So volunteering would fall into that. Really, what kind of milestones that you have within your relationships and things that you're really proud of. And finally, the last one is essence and spirituality. And this is a very deeply personal final category. So this is more asking yourself, how have you grown as a person, as a spiritual being within the past year? What have you done to nourish yourself? You know, have you cultivated or started a meditation practice would go, for example, would go really well into that, or gone on a retreat, or read some self-development or personal development books. Anything that has to do with your essence, your purpose, and your spirituality would fall within this bucket. Now, because we are looking at the year 2016 in review, you should go and grab your phone, your laptop, your calendars, and anything else that you might use, and do one category at a time if that works for you, or you can do what I normally do, which is looking 1 month at a time throughout my various resources, and then just populating the things as they come up. So you don't want to be putting down things that you're disappointed with or things that went wrong. This is all about like positivity and really acknowledging all the fantastic things that you've done in the previous year. Even though you might not have had your best year ever, or maybe you feel kind of bad about the year that's passed, once you actually start looking back, you'll notice that you have a lot to be happy about and a lot to be grateful for when it comes to the year that's passed. And that's really what this year or this process is about. It's about practicing and cultivating gratitude for the year that's passed, and then using that as a motivation and as ambition to set goals for the year ahead. So I'm just gonna go and get started. Okay, so once you have finished writing down everything that you can possibly think of in terms of milestones and achievements and things that you're just really happy with and proud of for the past year, now it's time to go and set some goals and really put your dreams down on paper for the year ahead. Now, when it comes to setting goals, you don't want to judge yourself for the things that you want. You really don't want to limit yourself in any possible way. A goal is personal and a dream is really personal. If you want it, you want it. There's no reason to judge yourself for wanting the things that you want. And the reason that we have these 5 categories is so we make sure that we are setting goals for ourselves in a way that is really holistic for our full well-being, so that we can really just feel fulfilled. And it doesn't matter if they come true or not. So I think people, they'll self-edit themselves and they'll hold back. They don't want to put down a goal because they're worried it won't come true. But who cares if it doesn't come true? I mean, I have my previous boards over here, and last year I wrote that a goal I wanted to be on the cover of Yoga Journal. That didn't happen. That was a crazy dream. But who cares if it didn't happen? It just means that I'm gonna put it on this year's goal, and you never know, right? So many of the things that I've written down have come true, and more things have presented themselves that I never even thought of. And it's okay if a lot of the stuff that I wrote down on this piece of paper didn't end up actually happening. The beauty about setting your goals and really just putting these intentions out there is that you're opening yourself up to the possibility that they could happen. And I find that the more I set my goals and the more I dream and the more I just visualize all these things happening to me, the more productive I am throughout the day. And then the more productive you are, the harder you're working usually, or the higher quality your work is. And then that helps you achieve all these things that you would like to do. So this is just the time. Take as long as you absolutely need to. And I just want you to not censor yourself and just start writing down your goals for the year ahead. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like a year from now in all these different categories? So your livelihood and your lifestyle, body and wellness, creativity and learning, relationships and society, essence and spirituality. Go. All right, so once you have all of your goals and pretty much anything that you can think of that you would like to happen in the following year, now the last part that I like to do with this, every single year I like to just set one word or a couple of words that frame my intention for the year ahead. So for example, my word that I was using for 2016 and my intention for 2016 was collaboration. I was trying to collaborate with other people on YouTube and on my business and at work and with my friends, and in different kinds of way. Collaboration was really my theme of the year, and that was something that I had decided in January 2016. So this year for 2017, I have to set a brand new word, and I think it's gonna actually be two words for me this year, which is focus and prioritize. You wanna have a word that's kind of broad enough to encompass your goals. So even though I have all these crazy goals and a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do in 2017, more than anything for 2017, I want to really start focusing and prioritizing so that I don't do like what I did last year, which is take on way too many projects that I could ever possibly handle. I want to get really focused. So think about it a little bit, and once you have that word, you're just going to add it somewhere on your page and really anywhere that makes sense to you. So I'm just going to add it next to the 2016 and 2017. So I'm going to put the previous word that I had for last year, which was collaboration. And then this year, it's focus and prioritize. And that's it. That's pretty much the process in terms of how to look over the year that you've had and then set your goals for the year ahead. I want you to really take some time to read it over a little bit over the next couple of days. Usually after you're done this exercise, you're gonna think of more things that you forgot or more things that you want. Whatever you think is best, and then some people will even take magazine clippings and kind of decorate it more like a vision board. That's a great exercise as well. I already have a vision board that I use and that I made last year, and if that's something that you guys would be interested in learning how to do and how to make your own vision board and what you want to put on it, let me know in the comments and I can definitely make that kind of video for you. But that's pretty much all it is. Just separate it into those 5 categories, look over the year you've had and set some goals for the year ahead. Take your time to do it and go back over the next couple of days and add anything that you might have missed. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please let me know by leaving a comment down below if you plan on doing this exercise yourself and if you already have a word or an intention for the year 2017. I would love to hear it and share it with the group. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I put out a new full-length yoga class every single Thursday, and then I do fun little videos like this sometimes. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye, guys.